Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Friday. How you doing out there? Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good day and all is good with you. This is the Closing Beats, quick stock market update show that we do to cover the stock market. We're coming to you from the little education studio here today because last night our Wine and Wealth class for customers was based on active trading. We were using the board back there to help you guys out. If you're one of our customers and you are actively trading and having fun with your own account out there, then you might want to check out last night's class. We got real in detail to try to help you with navigating volatile markets, whether you think they're volatile now or expect them to be volatile in the future. Otherwise, I wish you guys a happy October. We're getting into the middle or the beginning of October here, the fourth quarter, later part of the year. And so we got a lot of activity coming up here. Guess the Dow is back, by the way. Oh, that's not the one. There's Guess the Dow. Yeah, if you want to take your shot, you have until tomorrow at, what about lunchtime? If you want to take your guess for where you think the Dow is going to close next week, we'll announce our winner on Friday's show and give you $100 free of charge. We don't save your email. We don't market to you or anything like that. If you're the winner and you're not a customer, we'll send you a $100 gift card. If you are a customer, you could take the gift card or we can send you, put $100 in your account. Doesn't count towards your contributions or anything, so I hope you'll play the game. jazzwealth.com/guess the Dow. On the right-hand side of your screen, you see the market's a little bit lower today. A little bit of a disconnect too, so we'll be sure to cover that. You had payroll numbers come out that were more than expected. The numbers were lower than expected, largely blamed on the census because those workers coming out of the workforce there. The unemployment rate ticked lower, but so did average hourly earnings, so not really that good there. The average work week ticks higher as well, so you earn less and are working more on average is what those numbers basically came out to be today. Also, the focus was on President Trump having the virus. Getting the COVID-19 virus there. When the headline came out overnight, the stock market fell 2% pretty much right away. It was just a quick sort of sell-off there. We did recover throughout most of the day today. However, we're still going to post a little bit of a negative day. Obviously, we hope everything's okay there and he recovers as well, also with the First Lady. But that's what the markets were focused on today. Let's go over to the charts, take a look and see what's going on. I'll start with the NASDAQ because that was brutal today. Woo, that was nasty there with the NASDAQ. Mainly it was tech, right? Tech inside the NASDAQ had over half the losses. That's going to be your FANG stocks. Facebook in there with a 0.5% loss, 1.5% loss, 3% on Amazon. You can go through the whole list there if you're interested, but it was basically a brutal day for tech stocks, down 4.5% for Netflix there. Microsoft also in the FANG mix. We normally include that, down 3% as well. All those names, FANG plus Microsoft, make up 40% of the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ itself has a little bit of breathing room because it was up over 40% at one point, still up 30% year to date. So it's not horrible, but it's not great. I mean, today was a pretty nasty day for NASDAQ. That's where all the action was. We go over to the S&P 500, largely dragged down today because of tech, but you also have some consumer communication services in there as well that I thought looked a little bit weak. You got Charter down off of highs, about 2.33% on the day. Gamers, or people that participate in that, your Activision Blizzard down 5.5% as well as the others. And you had Comcast in there down 3% off the highs. S&P is still up 5% year to date. So not horrible, but not great. We also recovered off of our lows today. Still can't get above that 50-day, right? In any meaningful way. That's not a good sign. Don't like the sign of that there. One market index that didn't really participate today was the Russell. It was up almost 1% on the day. That was the standout, largely because of financials. We're happy to see that because in our small cap fund, which we manage here at Jazz Wealth, the small cap fund is just about 22% financial. So it was a good day all in all for our small cap funds there. We can kind of take a look through some of them there if you want to look. Walker and Dunlop there, recovering, looking good, up 5.3% today. 2.6% yield on that one, but it wasn't all good news if you're looking through the Russell 2000 today. Healthcare was a big drag on the space. if you're looking through that. Our FinTips videos, bottom right-hand corner of your screen. We've got some good ones this week. Today's video was, what do you do if you owe the IRS a lot of money? It was just general, just trying to give you an idea that I know somebody out there has that issue, and the IRS is testing a new sort of program that they're working out there for people that owe a lot of money to the IRS, so you might want to check that out. Monday, we did 4 reasons to invest and a couple reasons not to, and then Wednesday, we did year-end tax strategies, especially with the election coming up and not knowing what the tax code could look like going forward. Some things you may want to do to get adjusted there. And interestingly, I saw one of the biggest names in our space do the exact same sort of article with the same points and everything as the video that I posted on Wednesday. It's flattering, Mr. Slot. It's flattering that you would do that, but same exact bullet points and everything. So hey, you know, you're making it in the world. People want to kind of share that good information. Hey, also on our research site, we got great posts actually. If you want to check it out, we've got some really, really good posts in the research site. $13 a month if you want to participate. This is not a stock picking site. This is showing you how to come up with research. How do you dissect the markets and sectors and everything? We got the best stocks in October for the financial sector, and then I had a post come out today talking about solar. There's quite a spread between solar stocks and the oil stocks, so we went through those and covered a few of the solar stocks you might want to look at and broke everything down for you. That would be the latest post in the research site. Lots of more good stuff coming. Let's go to the sector breakdown here for the day. You know, not a lot. I mean, you know, kind of a weak day. Every sector but energy gained more than 1% so far this week. Let's start with energy because that was, it's so funny how this thing, it's one of the weakest and then one of the best, and one of the weakest and one of the best. We broke down all the stats for you on Monday if you want to take a look. But it was the worst this week, 2.2% loss. It's down almost 50% year to date. Today you saw some bottom picking in the space there with names like Chevron. You got ExxonMobil, a little bit of a recovery off the lows, and Schlumberger with a little bit of a rally off of that one there. You could say Slumberger, but it is pronounced Schlumberger. Anyways, you go over to Reits there, up above the 200-day moving average, still chopping around. This was a good week for this one. It was the best performing area of the S&P for the week, up 4.5%, but still in this choppy range. So not really sure if that's something you want to focus on, start to get excited about. Maybe it's starting to wake up, but I'll tell you, you want to look at some of the bigger names and the ones that have been stronger altogether. Prologis, PLD up 2% on the day, and Crown Castle, a little bit of a 0.5% gain, just topping off a really good week for that one coming out of this downtrend here, so a lot of people like to look at those kind of things. Utilities also looks like Reits in terms of being sideways. It did get above the 200-day moving average today. Keeps teasing that it's going to move outside of this range. Maybe this is the start of it. You got volume perking up there, starting to look good. That's what you want to see. People are interested in this sector. Maybe a little bit of rotation there, so something to point out. Industrial is a great reversal off lows today, up 1%, added about 2% on the week. Kind of middle of the road sector-wise today. It was the third, almost the fourth best performing one on the day there. Airlines were kind of the focus there. Nancy Pelosi came out and said, look, we're going to have individual airline support, but that's going to come separate likely from any stimulus bill that we agree on. Delta Airlines up 2%, Alaska Airlines up almost 2% as well. You could look through some of these. Allegiant up 2%. I'm sorry, Southwest Airlines. Allegiant was one of the better ones, but it faded away towards the end of the day. These guys are busy as can be, up 1.25% in the industrial. So that'd probably be the highlight area inside the industrial sector. If you go through financials, we know this is one of the best performers through the month of October, as you can see on our research site, and a little bit of what we shared with you yesterday. It popped a little bit today, just a little bit, down 20% year to date as of earlier this week, and then finally started to recover, up 3.7% for the week. I'll continue to say financials are one of the best performers in October, which you could see on the research site. It is, like I mentioned, it's this post right here. We went through every single sector, and then we went through stocks inside the financial sector. Also, if you're not a member of the research site, on the show yesterday, the closing beat yesterday, we went through some of those stocks. Moving on to notable new highs. We'll just get right through this today and then let you guys ask your questions if you have them. 7 new highs, 1 new low. So a lot of the familiar names on the list there. You got Dr. Horton in the breakout home builder type space. They did well on the day. Lennar, oh, there we go. Lennar also moving to new highs. That breakout continuing. We used that in our example last night for our customers there if you want to see the details on that one. So that was kind of interesting there. Quanta, PWR is a ticker symbol. Fresh breakout up 3% on the day. Domino's Pizza, a beast. It just will not stop there. Up 1.5% on the day. Continues this really strong momentum and kind of seen as like a virus hedge. And then Holly Frontier was the only 52-week low, but it closed well off of the lows, up 3.4% on the day. Almost every stock in this industry today did try some kind of recovery. Look through the oil stocks, oil service stocks, oil transportation stocks. They all gave you at least a little bit of hope that maybe you're close to a bottom there. All right, let's go over to the watch list. Kind of an interesting one today. We're just going to go over some familiar patterns that you may want to look at or study going into the weekend there, and I'll start with Assurant. AIZ, here's an interesting pattern off the 50-day moving average. You got a little bit of a bounce and coming out of this downtrend. So you got a stock that's showing you strength, it's showing you volume, it's showing that it's moving above the 50-day. You got a recent sort of cross there, the 50-day over the 200-day looking pretty good there, and today with a good day on that one. So maybe one to look at, see if you're familiar with that stock or interested in it. You've got Cooper, there we go. Cooper also higher over the last couple days. It did gap down today. It did sell off with the markets, but recovered well off the lows there. You got a nice new uptrend here with plenty of room back to that 360 area where a lot of people will look for resistance. So I thought maybe that's a watch list item if it continues to pull back. Lockheed Martin, not anything just yet. It's a watch list stock. You got a series of equal highs, a little bit sloppy there. But if any good volume comes into this stock, if defensive stocks start to wake up real aggressively and you get that sector ETF type buying, you have a recipe for a stock that could get back to 400 pretty quick. You might be interested in it over 400 if you're looking at that one. There we go. Oh, come on. There you got Gartner here. This is going to be on the opposite side, so looking towards the downside. Here's a stock that fell below the 200, can't get above it. Every time it gets up there, it gets smashed back down, and today was no exception, still down 1/3%. This one looks as though it may be rolling over, so if you're looking for some sort of short play or some kind of a hedge to the mix, maybe that's one to look at. Paychex I thought was interesting, a series of equal highs here. Very shallow, but consistent uptrend if you're looking for stocks that if they make some reasonable move above highs, do they have a real respectable risk to reward to play them back to the prior highs? That's all this one was. So Paycheck's nice recovery today. It did finish basically flat on the day, but if it moves over the highs of about 80.50, then you've got room back to 90, which may present you with some risk to reward. If you take a look at our class last night for customers, we were talking about that risk to reward having multiples of your the distance between your entry and your stop price there, so kind of following up with that. Public storage taken off without us here. This was an interesting one off the 20-day moving average, also in the Reits space, which we know is waking up. So where do we go? We look for stocks that are starting to wake up inside of a space that's starting to wake up. Public storage looking pretty good there, and a decent dividend as far as that goes while you wait. And lastly, we got TJ Maxx. This is sloppy, right? You got higher lows along the way. It just won't sell off any more than higher lows. You got it above the 200-day. Recent cross of the 50 over the 200-day. It's always popular, kind of to see as there, the golden cross. And you've got a stock today that showed good strength into a weak market. So maybe this is trying to hint that it's trying to move up above that range there. If so, it's the same as Paychex. Above the high, you have a recipe for many multiples of your risk if you were to try to get the stock back to the prior highs, assuming it gets there. And so that's the watch list of the day. Real simple, right? Just a clean one, real simple. Some things you can look at, maybe agree with, disagree with, or maybe it helps you look through different areas with some of these stocks. Maybe TJ Maxx, maybe you look at Ross and things like that. So hopefully that helps. All right, stocks in the news. Do we have that? Yeah, looking good. All right, here we go. Stocks in the news there. We'll start with Invesco. So this is the one we talked about the other day. A recent little breakout today. It gaps over those highs. There's a private equity company that owns basically 10% of this company, and they want to start talking with management, take more of an active role in that one. Always seen as a stock mover there. You got Walmart. They're going to sell off their UK grocery business to Asada, which is the biggest one over there. 6.8 billion pounds is what they're considering selling that off for. Not successful for them. Twilio hitting new highs there. They think that their second quarter revenues are going to come in better than expected, so giving you a little hint into earnings that are coming up. The stock was up 13% today and hitting new 52-week highs. Tesla was a little bit lower, 7% lower on the day. They made 145,000 vehicles in the third quarter. They delivered 140. Delivered may be subjective. It's what some people think delivered actually means. But the stock was a little bit lower on the day, not because of that, but that was one of the things there. And you've got Nu Skin hitting new 52-week highs there. They think that their third quarter revenues are going to be way ahead of what Wall Street expects. So they gave you the sort of update there before earnings come out and say, look, We're looking at our business. We see what Wall Street expects from us. We think we're going to do a lot better than that. So they came out, got a little bit of a boost there. Let me head back to Lennar real quick. Lennar is going to reinstate their dividend. Oh, no, they're increasing their dividend by 100% from 12.5 cents to 25 cents. Things looking good for them. And also Marathon, although this is not, this probably, let me see. This probably won't be all that exciting. A little bit of a recovery off lows today, up 4%. They are reinstating their dividend, however, the minimum dividend. So they're only coming back with the minimum dividend. I think it was 2 or 3 cents. Not much, but it's a sign of positivity there if you're looking at that. Dividends, speaking of that, coming up next week, JP Morgan, Roper, 51 cents. JP Morgan was 90 cents, by the way. And that's pretty much it. Oh, hey, check it out. You've got a new addition to the S&P 500. It's not Tesla. It's Pool Corp. And they do exactly what you think they would do. Pool supplies, distribution, things like that. Stock was down 1% on the news. Next week, they're going to take the place of E-Trade, which was bought out. But E-Trade is getting kicked out of the S&P, and Pool Corp is getting added into the S&P. I'll take a chance and answer your questions if you have any. And we'll see what we can do there. I love it. Regeneron, yeah, the White House says they're giving him some dose of that. Where's Regeneron? 564.40. It's up to 580-ish, 581 after hours. So getting a boost on that news that the White House is using that product. Like it. Any more thoughts on the Duke merger? Well, it was a bid to buy, right? So it's not official. It hasn't been combated there. They said they're still open for talks. They have looked at Nextera's bid. As always, any company that gets offered to be bought out, the first offer is always rejected. So Duke Energy did reject that. I believe they rejected that. Was that a dream? Holy cow. No, I didn't dream that, right? It seems like that was something I don't remember reading. Yeah, no, they rejected it. So you could have probably bet on that anyways. Anytime a company offers to buy a company, the first offer is always rejected. So we'll see what happens. I love it. New member of the research site. Every time you trade a stock, you need to hold it for a month. Due to my work policy, I follow the site to come up with ideas, holding versus short-term versus long-term. A little tough. If you're working and you're looking for more mid-term type ideas, some of our research, a lot of our research posts are not necessarily what to do the next day. So we're looking at things that are showing strength, showing weakness, or starting to turn around in any meaningful way. So it should still be a good fit for you. But it is tough. Yeah, you check in on things every month or so. You might want to still watch if you can. Yep. Oh, yeah. Not much interest in the IPO market. Now, nothing's going to change there. Nope. Any clue on a vaccine race? I think it depends on how they work together. There's going to be a lot of licensing deals inside of that, maybe even some forced licensing deals. So it's a little tough to predict at the moment on that one. Yep. Oh, Dexcom, I think, was your biggest loser in the S&P today, down 7%. It was the biggest loser. Activision was the second biggest loser overall. Weakness, man. Those really strong stocks. Not to mention healthcare wasn't all that strong today in the space, the tech healthcare type stocks. So largely just part of that. A lot of profit taking going on there. The stock has been a beast going through this year and into last year. Yep. Retail has been doing well. Yeah, I'll give you that. We've had a couple days there where retail was one of the stronger areas there. Even Target, like you mentioned, it had a great boost throughout the week. It faded away a little bit yesterday, but today almost recovering all of it there. You could use the XRT if you're taking a look. If you were looking for something broad that doesn't invest too heavily in one space, that may be something to look at as far as a broad ETF there. Yep. I can't blame you. Yeah, it's asking about thoughts on maybe some of the different types of oil stocks there that have sold off, but maybe not quite as much. I can't blame you for looking at a discount and saying, I kind of like that. Oil down 4% on the day today, so same thing. Oil's a very trending type commodity, though, so don't expect this to just reverse course and head higher next week. Yep. Oh, yeah. Cool. You think online gambling is going to take off in the next? Sure is getting more and more popular. Yeah, no, I agree, especially with everybody being home and stuff. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of acquisitions going on in the space, a lot of big competitors, and a lot of people launching new products there like daily. So yeah, I think it's going to be one of those focus areas. We'll see how the casinos do as they're kind of gobbling those guys up. can't go in a casino and put your coin in the slot anywhere. So we'll see what happens. Interestingly, I thought today, again, volatility was higher all day. All day. Now the markets were lower today, but remember yesterday the markets were higher basically all day, and volatility was still higher. So you got a lot of that sort of election prep making its way into the markets there. As we've mentioned numerous times, also typically in October, they always say in election season, they'll say there's an October surprise. Something happens. There's a bombshell. There's something going on. Maybe the virus, the president, be your October surprise. So we'll see what's going on. Thoughts on stocks that have insider trading, legal insider trading, I assume. Is that a sign rather to buy or to sell? There's strategies on that people use. It's known way ahead of time. It's very rare that you see somebody selling stock that wasn't already planning on selling stock. Usually that's made up by the board and they make those decisions and they're on some sort of quarterly plan. So it doesn't really tell you anything as to what the person, the insider, believes about the company. It's largely just planned out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, markets are quick to respond, aren't they, these days? I mean, it was right on the headline. Bam, 2% down on the markets there. So you know that's all algorithm trading there. Will ETFs be better than trading stocks in a volatile market, as I don't need to hold any ETFs for a month like stocks? Are you a fan of ETFs? I like ETFs. I don't like the leveraged ETFs, especially with your holding period there. But you could. A lot of people would just say, I don't have time to look for individual stocks. Do I go retail versus Target or Ross or TJ Maxx or whatever? That's an easy way to do it. Less homework for you if you don't have a lot of time there. I would agree. All right, I've covered everything. I will wish you guys a great rest of your day. Hopefully you enjoyed today. Thank you so much for the support throughout the week and the years and everything that we've had here. I really do appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see what next week has to offer. We'll be here and ready.